Russian secret weapons. I really cannot say the names, but they been helping me out.
Let's jump right into it, Gilbert. You know, it's finally official. April 9th, Jacksonville, Florida, UFC 273. This fight, man, it's been talked about for like months. You know, you guys have been going back and forth on social media. There was rumors of, him having visa issues, and that's what was the problem. Could you take us through exactly why this took so long to put together officially?
Yeah, to be honest, a lot of things I don't know for sure. But what I was hear from my manager Ali Abdelaziz was first they want to make in Brazil, and then they canceled the Brazil card and they want to push to April 9. And after that I was hearing from Ali and from other people that he had visa issues. I think he still have. I think his visa, what I heard, I'm not sure. His visa was expiring in March. That's why he came. I don't think he was able to renew his visa. But as soon as he got here, he got 6 months to be here, and I think he still can renew his visa. But that was the thing. That was a visa thing. I was the contract came a couple weeks, but he still still wasn't sure because of his visa. But whenever he got here, I knew was the fight was for sure. And I was training hard anyways. I was in the training camp. I was getting ready anyways. But I still that little thing. The fight might not happen, but I was getting ready anyways.
Yeah, you went through this before with the
Yeah.
Usman fight. You know what I mean? The Usman fight, it was being talked about, and then there was no
Yeah.
contract, and then the contract came. You know what I mean? So I don't think it's
Yeah.
anything new for you.
No.
I believe you asked for 5 rounds, but it seems like this fight is
Yeah.
only going to be three. Did he not
Yeah.
agree to it, or did the UFC not want a 5 round fight?
I'm not sure, but I think it was the UFC because they already have two title fights. I don't know if it's a timing issue or something, but I think I asked for the UFC and they just sent a 3 rounds contract. And I'll even ask one more time, but I think he stayed for. I don't think it was him. I think it was the UFC.
You know, you're number two in the division. You earned your spot by fighting all the best guys. Does it make sense to you? You know, because a lot of people think it doesn't make sense. Why give him the opportunity?
If not he, who? That was my question. If not this guy, who? And a lot of people say no. And then Colby and Masvidal were busy. They were fighting each other. Leon Edwards is fighting for the title. I'm not fighting Luke. Luke is fighting Bilal. And we don't have a lot of options. And then a lot of guys turned the fight down. And I was just stay waiting, keep waiting, hoping to get one fight when I saw this guy hungry, upcoming, a lot of hype, new. So why not? It was not even him. I asked for new Magny, I asked for other fighters, but UFC said no. I think they was kind of setting up that fight because they know I was begging for a fight. I think that was the plan. UFC said no when I asked for new Magny, when I asked for the other guys, and they end up asking for Hamza, and then I said, yeah, why not? And I understand that the guy is not a top five, not a top 10, but I think he's very tough. I think he's a matter of he didn't have no opportunity to show his skills against these guys in the top 10, but I think he can beat a lot of top 10s, and I'm not gonna stay here and waiting and begging to fight Kobe, begging to fight Leon Edwards. No, give me this guy. Let's see if he's that good. I do believe he's very good. And I just hear Dana said that's the number one contender fight. Whoever wins fighting for the title next. So could, that's what I was looking for. And then we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, like you said, you're looking for the shortest path to the title,
Yeah.
and maybe fighting Colby was not that path. You know what I mean? But this
Yeah.
guy, he's the path. You know, Dana White even said it. Um, so you feel like the hype is justified? You know, like the
Yeah.
performance he's had, like they've been really
Yeah.
impressive to you.
It was very impressive to me because when I see guys that having an opportunity that has an opponent that is not as a high level as you should finish quick, finish impressive. And a lot of fighters they don't do like that. They gave you kind of an easy matchup, and you're not finishing the guy. You're not not taking advantage. And he's taking a lot of advantage. I think he got one punch in one of the fights, hit the guy over 100 times, got a finish. I think he's very good. I think people make him a monster. Like, oh, I saw Dana White saying, "Oh, he's a murderer." No, he's a good fighter, but I think people saying that, putting him as too much as a monster with the competition that he was given. But on the same time, he make a good point beating the guys the way he beat. But now the competition is gonna be way different. He's fighting a guy that stopped chewing the world, that just fought for the title. That I got 20 wins, 4 losses, and yeah, he's stepping up big time in competition. I'm looking forward to it. I think he's very, very good. I think he has good striking, good jiu-jitsu, high level wrestling. Very big for the division. I guess he cuts a lot of weight, and he's gonna have a big test. And I'm looking forward to this fight.
Yeah, that's one thing I wanted to talk to you about, right? I just watched this video with Chael Sonnen, and he said he ran into Chimaev in Las Vegas like a couple days ago or something, and what he was saying is that Chimaev, at the biggest, he's 188, and he usually walks around at like 181. First question is, do you believe that? Second question
No,
is, that's pretty small for a welterweight, right?
it's a lie. I think because he looks very big. I saw him when he fought 185. He make 185. He didn't make a 181. And he's long, he's lanky. I hope he's one. If he's 188, I'm heavier than him. I woke up today 192. So, and I'm cutting weight already. So now that I'm a welterweight, I'm walking around 196 to 200. That's my walking around weight. Whenever I'm in camp, I go down to 188 and 192. That's my weight. This morning was 192. If he's 188, show it. I gotta see a video of him going on the scale before session. I don't believe it, but it might be. I don't know. Kamaru too. Kamaru is not that big. Kamaru is 190. A lot of times when we trained together, he was already champion. He was lighter than me a couple times. He looks very big, but his legs are very very small. Like I have very big legs, so I don't know. I don't think so. I think he's a little bigger than that, but I don't know.
We will see, right? When you guys
Yeah,
face
we
off.
will see. We will see.
With Chimaev, he has all this hype, and he says a lot of things that may come out as arrogant. Do you think
Yeah.
that it's just him being trying to build his image and keep himself in the news all the time, or do you feel like he's really overconfident, heading into this fight?
I think he's very confident. I don't think he's arrogant. I like it. I like the guys that believe in himself, confident, say whatever he wants. And that's how I get the title shot too, fighting anyone, calling everyone out, and getting short notice. I remember after the Damian Maia fight in Brazil, Tyron Woodley had a fight coming in London against Leon Edwards, and the pandemic, everything shut down. I remember I started tweeting, call him out, and then eventually I got the fight. So I think he's doing the right thing, and yeah, I don't see he's arrogant. I see him very confident, like especially undefeated. Sometimes I've been there. I was 10-0. My first loss when I was 10-0, and then I lost 10-1 to Rashid Magomedov. But I do believe he's a little bit overconfident. He think he's untouchable. Never saw a loss. I've been there before. I remember like when I thought, okay, 3 fights, 4 fights, I'm gonna become a champion, and for sure was overconfident. I think he's a little bit overconfident.
I think every fighter has been at that point where they felt
Yeah,
untouchable, right? when they were.
Yes, especially when you're undefeated. I think if those guys that I think these guys that see a loss on the very beginning of his career, like those guys that lost, like remember a couple guys they lost the first fight and then they got on a crazy streak. I think those guys got a little bit more kind of familiar with the loss. Even Kamaru Usman, he lost and then he changes. You know, he's oh shit, I'm not untouchable. I gotta be smart. I gotta be alert. I think, but a couple guys are like Habib too. You know, they just freaking they different, and it might be a case of Chimaev. We're gonna you're gonna find out April 9th.
When you look at, like, you bring up Habib, right? He was undefeated. He never lost. But I feel like he was a little bit more conservative. And when you compare
Yes.
him to Islam, he's much more dangerous, I think, at the same point because he did lose. And now he
Yes.
knows, like, the feeling of losing, and then he can go in there and kind of pick his spots a little bit better and go for those finishes because he knows, like, where he can find them. Do you see that in Islam? Like, he could kind of
Yeah.
become better than Habib, like a more dangerous version?
I do think, but the one thing that Habib had was his dad, like controlling that emotions, controlling that overconfident, controlling all of that. Like that's why I think Habib was so special because of his dad being his trainer, his mentor, his friend. I think that just helps him on a different level. If you have my dad as a coach, as a friend, as a mentor every day. So he kind of know me maybe more than I know, and he will be able to kind of help that out. But I think on the other hand, Islam having Khabib's dad there and having Khabib there and suffering the loss itself himself, yeah, for sure. I think Islam is very mature and yeah, he can become a champion. We'll see. That's a fight that I want to see for sure. I was looking forward to see Islam against Benil Dariush. That was a fight that I was very looking forward to because I like Benil grappling and in chances and hands and cardio and everything about it. That was the fight that I was very looking forward to. But I don't know if they're gonna make that fight again or not. That thing that happened to RDA, but the fight that I'm looking forward to right now is not even Justin and Oliveira. It's not Benio and Islam. It's Islam against Charles. That's the fight that I really want to see. And wow, it's gonna be a crazy one. I'm super excited. If you ask what's the next fight you want to see, that's the number one for sure. It's Islam against Oliveira, me against Khamzat, me against Colby, me against Kamaru again. Those are the four fights that I want to see next.
Yeah, a lot of Brazil versus Russia rivalries,
Yeah.
going on at the
Yes.
top of each division. I love it, man. I love seeing those. Those are
Yes.
great matchups.
Yes.
Going back to you, you said that you're already in camp for this upcoming fight when it was announced. Who have you worked closely with this time around for preparations for
Uh,
Khamzat?
yeah, I have a couple guys. Uh, choose secret weapons. I'm not gonna be.
Always
I'm
got
not.
secret weapons.
I got two Russian secret weapons. I really cannot say the names, but they been helping me out very much. And all the guys are saying for, Henry Hoof. I got a couple of great guys helping with striking. Like I got Jason Jackson. I got Sean Soriano, Ian Gary, DeMarcus Jackson. A lot of Sanford guys helped me on strike. I got Wagner Russia on my jiu-jitsu again, pushing. We're doing a lot of drills, a lot of things, a lot of get-ups, a lot of kind of anticipating, doing a lot of back position. I have Kami Barzini, Greg Jones, and Coach Saeed. He's another Russian guy. Now I almost sure he's gonna be on my corner for this fight, help me a lot with the like a Russian wrestling. And but yeah, nothing too much different, but I have these guys helping me a lot.
Yeah, you do a great job of kind of like picking the guys to come in and help you
Yes.
because the last camp you had Raymond Daniels come in to help you to get
Yes,
used to Stephen Wonderboy Thompson,
yes,
and that worked out really well for you. And this time you have your secret weapons, the Russian secret weapons, to come in and to help you. It's great to see.
yeah,
You're always trying to find the best ways,
yes,
to train
yes,
and improve yourself. Has there been
yes.
anything new you started doing in your training or recovery, like in 2022 this year?
I just changed my physical therapist. I got a new Brazilian physical therapist, very good. Fernando Alberti, he's gonna be there with me on the 5 week. Still with the same psychology, still with the same strength conditioning coach, boxing coach. Jorge Rubio helped me a lot on my hands. Henry Hoof with my kickboxing. I didn't change it as much. Just changed those two sparring partners that I kind of hired to come and help me out. Uh, but I try to always kind of I want to feel Shimaev before the fight, like on that sense. I want to feel Wonder Boy before fighting, on that sense. I want to fight Kamaru Usman before. I want to feel Tyron Woodley before fighting. So if it's not that type of body or game here at Stanford, I'm gonna hire guys to bring. Like if I'm fighting Neil Magny, right? Long, big, great movement, good takedowns. I'm gonna bring. If we don't have a guy like that at Sanford, I'm gonna I'm gonna look for and I'm gonna hire one guy like that because I want to get used to do Neil Magny to fight Neil Magny. If we have a lot of different guys right here that can do this game, but if we don't, like we didn't have no karate, I'm gonna look for the best one around. I'm gonna pay it, and I'm gonna bring that guy in to make sure I'm ready whenever I face that guy. I gotta have a lot of looks to. Oh, okay, that's what it looks like. Okay, if he get in a good position, oh, it's gonna be this position, that position that you like it. Coach, how do I escape from that position? Oh, okay, we gotta drill here, 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 and that's my training. Then I write down everything, and then I got a couple notes, and then we record it and they go back and forth, drilling, 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 drilling. Whenever the drill is good, we move to the second part, like a specific live. Whenever we did that good, we're moving forward. Now we're going to apply that on sparring. If it didn't do good, we go back to reps. Okay, reps, reps, reps. So and then that's how my training move it on. So in every position, in every aspect, in every whenever opponent I have, like I remember with Raymond was very hard to catch him at the beginning because he was so quick and so fast and controlling the distance. And I freaking asked him, I don't even wait for the coach to say, brother, I cannot touch you. What I have to do, and I say, okay, try this, and that, and then okay, that's working. Okay, and then I did good, but then I didn't good at all on whenever we spar again. I said, bro, I'm not getting on the sparring. Let's do more reps, and then we drilling, drilling. And I had Raymond here for a month, and every single day we spar. Not crazy sparring, not trying to, but every day with five movement. Like touching. Couple of days touch a little harder, and uh, and I was getting used to. So it's same thing that I'm doing for Chimaev. I get those Russian guys that freaking body lock, take me down, put me on the floor, go here, take me down the wall, got back. So I want to get used to, to this feeling.
How do you envision this fight though in your mind? You know what I mean? Like I'm pretty sure you
Yeah.
you look at this sometimes and think about it when you're just got some time to yourself. What do you see in this fight?
To be honest, right now, I'm seeing a war. I don't see an easy fight. I see that guy coming big and strong, fresh, especially in the beginning, very hungry, try to impose a lot of pressure. And I'm kind of like fighting back to this guy, make sure he grinding. If he gets to a takedown, getting up, sweeping, working a submission to the bottom, come back up, if putting pressure, boxing range with this guy, kicking but I see it 3 hard rounds with this guy. I will never take any opponent easy. And for sure, it's not gonna be that guy. Very confident, hungry, big, undefeated Russian. I'm not taking that guy easy for sure. I see a war. I don't believe we're going for a decision or he gonna get a finish, or I'm gonna get a finish. But I see a freaking grind, high pace, grappling, striking, wrestling. But I see a hard fight for both of us.
Yeah, it's gonna be a grueling fight, but entertaining. Cause I'm waiting for
For
those
sure.
scrambles, man. Cause I know they're
Yeah.
coming. You and
Me
him, those
too.
scrambles. There's gonna
Me
be
too.
crazy, man. I love it. Um,
I think it's gonna be a couple crazy scrambles in that
yeah,
fight.
yeah, yeah. That's gonna be fun to watch. The betting odds, you know what I mean? They have you as the
Yeah.
underdog again. You know what I mean?
I
They
love
keep putting you as the
I
underdog,
love
man.
it.
Why do they?
I
Why do
love
they
it.
do that?
I love it. Couple friends, they so happy. They make money on me in couple fights. So
Mhm,
to be honest, it don't bother me,
mhm.
and I don't think it make no difference. I think I don't know who make those odds. I don't care, to be honest. Sometimes I'm starting betting right now a little bit. I do the betonline.ag.
Yeah.
I like to play in the book a little bit. Me and my wife, because I saw a couple girls fighting. I don't follow every single one, but I like a couple girls. I know all the Brazilians, but I know a couple Americans. But to be honest, I don't know every single one. My wife knows every single one, and she always bet, no way that girl is underdog. I say, why not? No, because so she kind of explained all
Yeah.
that for me. But so we play a little bit, me, her, and sometimes those odds that just make no sense. So I don't mind.
Yeah. And you know, when you look at that, it almost seems like there's no pressure on you. Not as much as there's pressure on him. You know, he's
It's
the
always pressure.
undefeated guy. You know, he has the hype and all that stuff. And of course there's always pressure, but
Always.
yeah, always, right? But like for like someone looking from the outside in, it's almost like there's a lot more on him because there's this expectation, you know, on his side to come in here and like with all the talk and everything too, to smash, you know, like people like to say.
I hope so. I hope there's more pressure on him, but there's a lot of pressure on me too. Every
Hmm.
single fight. Every single fight. Last fight I was coming from a loss. It was a lot of pressure
Yeah.
fighting Wonder Boy. Now beloved for Wonder Boy. Couple guys want to fight Wonder Boy, but I kind of the way I see it gave a very kind of very
Blueprint.
but a big blueprint. That's even Bilal text me, hey, thanks for the blueprint. But you know what I mean. But now everyone wants to fight this guy. But couple before fighting him, no one wants to fight that guy. That guy was fighting once a year, twice a year. Now everyone wants to fight this guy. Uh, but I was coming to a lot of pressure going to that fight. Coming from a loss. And this guy too now, I see a lot of pressure. The guy's number 11 in the world, 10-0. And I don't see it that way, but shit, I don't want to lose to this guy. I don't want to lose to no one, but I don't want to lose to this guy. It's always a lot of pressure. I hope he has more pressure, but it's always pressure, and especially whenever Dana White say, "Oh, that fight is a number one contender fight." Well, I want to kill this guy. Now more than ever, that's more pressure. Then tomorrow I'm going to sport more pressure going to sparring. So you want to perform good. Sometimes you overthinking. So, but it's part of the game. So I think that's what the champions does so good. Like freaking Kamaru Usman does that better than a lot of guys. Go there, short notice, like changing opponent again, Masvidal, do what he did. Ask for another fight, knock the guy out, beat Kobe again, beat me. I think that guy is kind of like deals very good with the pressure. I think that's what the champions do the most. I don't think a real champion, for sure, they have a lot of skills. They have a lot of the mentality, the heart. But I think one of the best things that the champions does is to deal with the pressure, and that's is always pressure. So I'm kind of learning, and I want to learn every time more to deal with this pressure. But I don't see a lot of pressure on this guy. I always see a lot of pressure on me going to this fight.
I think that's something that people like me, the fans, they will never understand the level of pressure when you get up to the championship
Yeah.
fights and the number one contender fights, you know, and we like to talk like, oh, this guy has
Mhm.
more pressure than this guy, but really there's
A lot
pressure
of pressure.
everywhere, man. There's pressure on the coaches, there's pressure on the training partners to get you ready, you know, there's
The
so much pressure all around.
The pressure is on us. I don't think it's even a training partner. The pressure is on us. Like whenever I would just saw in Brazil, they have the the soccer finals against the like Brazilian Cup champion against the Brazilian champion. That was Flamengo against American. That's called the team. And then they went to the penalties, and the stadium was full. I don't want to. Sometimes I feel like, man, I want to be a soccer player, but freaking the penalties freaking me out. And they were tight. They was kind of 5-4 and 4, 5-5. So they picked the first five soccer players, and then every other player goes hit the penalty. So when you pick the first five, you pick the best kickers, the guys that for sure they're gonna make it. And whenever we're tied, now comes the number six pick, seven pick, eight pick, number 10. So these guys are not great on making penalty. And shit, there's a lot of pressure on these guys. Like, and it got to a time, okay, the goalie got the ball. Now we just gotta make it. Phew, there's a lot of pressure going to make that. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like that to a fight, but it's just you. Sometimes with a soccer team, your team make the penalty, you won't. You don't even need to make a penalty, you won't. But freaking with the fight, I gotta make sure I show up, and I show up 100% for this fight, mentally, physically, and freaking perform my best. Even sometimes doing that, sometimes you don't even get the win. So it's a lot of pressure. People never gonna understand. Like for sure, a couple guys that compete on the highest level will have an understanding, but regular people, for sure, they don't have no clue what that pressure means.
Yeah, they don't. One last thing, I wanted to jump in and talk about before I let you go is UFC 272. Colby Covington, he goes in there, he beats Jorge Masvidal. Um, do you think Jorge Masvidal's like stock as a pay-per-view star dropped a lot after this loss to Covington?
Maybe, maybe I don't know because those guys became such a big stars like Jorge Masvidal, Conor. Because even with the loss, people, I don't know, I think people still gonna watch. Like freaking Floyd Mayweather. I don't want to watch him against Logan Paul and these guys, but people still watching. Like making freaking millions on pay-per-view. I think for sure it's a different level Mayweather from these guys, but I don't know. That's a good question. I think if they make, I don't know, Jorge Masvidal against Conor McGregor, I still gonna think it's gonna be a big payday. Especially those guys. I think both guys need to have a little change. Like uh, I was talking to the guys the other day, and I think they asked me, "Oh, do you think Conor can come back?" And I said, "I believe he can. I believe everything is possible. And then, but you gotta be a lot of sacrifice. Like he gotta go like Hockey Balboa movie. He gotta freaking leave the phone, internet, freaking whiskey, go to the freaking mountains, build up a team, make sure his team is there, his food is there, and just freaking train and kind of like separate himself for the world and just get hungry again. If that happens, I do think he can come back. But if it's freaking party and all the luxury and then fancy stuff, and I don't think he will never come back closer than he was, and I think Masvidal the same. I don't know Masvidal as a person, but I like him as a fighter. But I do think they need the same. It's a lot of fame, a lot of money, a lot of this and that, a lot of parties, a lot of things. But if you really want to freaking separate yourself, like what happened to him when he went to a reality show, if he does something similar to that, phew, I do believe those guys can come back. But the question is not this. The question is they want to do that. That's the question. I cannot answer that.
Yeah, that is the question. But it seems like they both are really far away from a title shot or even a contender
Yeah.
fight anymore. You know what I mean? So yeah, them fighting each other. Imagine if they both accepted the fight and they did that. They went to the mountains, both of them, and they trained. No internet. We didn't hear from them for like 3 months, and they came out and fought. I would love to see something like that. You know what I mean? That would just be
Yes,
crazy.
that would be a freaking crazy fight because both of these guys are dangerous. Whew, I would like to watch that fight if that happened. But if that doesn't happen, those guys partying, going crazy, then I don't even want to watch that fight. You know what I mean? Like you gotta have you gotta have a change with the lifestyle. You gotta have a I don't know. I don't know. I just even Glover Teixeira, you saw if you saw a couple of his interviews, couple of his things, you say, bro, I'm 42. You know, I need to do a lot of more on recovery. I gotta do a lot of more training. I gotta take care of myself. I stopped drinking. I stopped this. I stopped that. I changed my lifestyle, and boom, the guy became a champion at 42. So Conor can, yes, he can. Masvidal can for sure. He can. I don't know if they wanted that. I cannot answer this question, but if they can, 100% they can.
April 9th, man, you're back in action. This is a
Yeah.
huge fight, man. Probably the biggest fight next to the title fight coming up in the
Yeah.
division. You know,
Main event
Khamzat.
with
Yeah, yeah,
with the main event
yeah. It is.
with the
It is
main
the
event.
people's main event, right? The people's
Yes.
main event. Everybody wants to see this. Um, Jiu-jitsu against wrestling. You know what I mean? Like it's always intriguing to see those matchups. Gilbert, I always appreciate you, man, taking the time and during a training camp, busy. To give me a few thoughts. Thank you so much, and good luck on the rest of the camp, and all the best on the fight.
Appreciate you, John. Have a good one, brother.